In this next chapter, we will have a look at Joomla components. My personal opinion, next to articles, which would be the most important in Joomla, I would say components are the second important one. Um, what are components? Components basically you could see as the working horses in Joomla. By default, in the default Joomla installation, there are a few components installed, like polls and web links and banners. If we look at the default website, we can see the banner component at the bottom, and if I refresh, doesn't always work. Say that I go to the next page, perhaps then. Yeah, then you can see that I get a second banner. So if we look at the banner component, you will see that there's a lot of banners in there, and if I click it, you can see that every banner has its own URL and how to say, here's the image, and we could choose a certain banner image, and I will cancel this, and banners come in their categories. So we have a Joomla text ad and Joomla promo, and banners go along with clients, and we can say that how to say, we can put the details in. So if you run a website and you want to offer advertisements for your clients, you could use that. But it's not about the default components. You can how to say, use contacts and use a poll. It's about the fact that Joomla has the ability to put all kinds of third-party components in there, and that's what I want to discuss about. Um, there's one main website to know, and I will open up a new page, and that is extensions.joomla.org. Extensions is the, how to say, the common name for both, or for components, for plugins, and for modules that come in Joomla. And on extensions.joomla.org, write it down, save it as a favorite, because once you work with Joomla, you will visit that page on a very regular basis. The extension page, and it literally has thousands and thousands of extensions, components, and modules. So if you're looking for instance, a forum, just in the search button, click forum, and there we go. We have forum, forum add-ons, Firebird forum, Kenya forum, forum bridges. So I just want a forum. There's only one thing to look at, is a certain extension, is that Joomla 1.5 native. I would say the most commonly used now is 1.5, but there are still, for instance, this one, Nice Talk, that's only for Joomla 1.0. So watch this little graphic. You want, if you have a Joomla 1.5 website, you want to have that. So I'm just on this website. I'm not affiliated at all with anything that we're showing. So what I'll do is, let's install a forum and see how that goes. So I click the download button. I get redirected to a certain page, and I see all kinds of how to say, versions, etc. But I will enlarge my window. What I'll do is, to go safe on a Windows machine, I will use the zip version. So I click on com kunena. I'm saving it as a download. I'll save that to my desktop. close that window. So I have my components, but how do I get it in? That is under extensions, and you have to use install uninstall. So that is install uninstall, and then we get the install, and it says upload a package file with a browse button, which will make me browse to my downloaded folder, and here it is. I select it, click open, and click on upload file. And of course you have to be aware of the fact that those components and plugins and modules on extensions.joomla.org are third-party extensions. They have nothing to do with Joomla except the fact that they will fit in Joomla. How well they fit, that is up to the developer that has written that extension, and I have encountered a few extensions here and there that were really poorly developed and basically threw or blew out my Joomla website. So I would suggest that if you see a certain extension, click on it, and you can see how popular it is by its rating and the votes, and just be aware of the fact that how to say, some extensions might not be doing what you want of it. So very important to know, extensions on that website, they are third party. They have nothing to do with Joomla by itself, and there are extensions that can ruin your website, so be aware of that. But if you find a suitable extension, don't be afraid to try it out. Okay, we have a message install component success, and if I now look in my list of components, I see a Kunena forum. So I'll click on that, and I see a lot of things here, and I'm not, how to say, talking about the forum itself, but let's see if there's already something in. What I will do is I will now go to, oh, not my category manager, I will go to my main menu, and I want to put that forum in. We have a component, Kunena forum. I click on new, and all of a sudden in my select menu item type I get a new item called Kunena forum. So I will put that in. I will call it forum, and this would be the same for almost every component you install. So I'll leave it at this. I click on save. I'll click on home, and in my main menu I should now get a new item, forum. So I will click that, forum, and look at this. Within, what was it, 2 minutes, I get a forum. So that is the, as I mentioned, the workhorse in Joomla, a component. And again, there are many components available, and there are also components that will not show on the front end, but they could be components like a newsletter, and then you would work most of the time in the back end of that certain component. Let's see if we've got, yeah, let's try a little guest book here. Again, look at the fact if it's 1.5 native. Legacy will come to that at a later stage, but I want 1.5 native. I won't look into it, I'll just download it right away. Resize my window. Component easy book. Let's take the latest. save it to my desktop. Close this window. Close this one. Go back, go to my extensions, install, uninstall. I browse Com EasyBook. I open it up and upload file and install. And of course, every component by itself comes or can come with a certain configuration, and you'll need to configure that yourself, of course. EasyBook, as we can see in the components list, manage entries. And where can we configure this one? That would be under parameters. Sometimes it's a bit of a search. Sometimes it can be like here, configuration. In this case it has parameters here, and most likely I should be able to set how to say, group for adding an entry. I want it to have the public front end that can add anything. Just a little addition to the configuration. I go to my menu manager. I make the same mistake now. I go to my main menu. I click on new, and in my list of menu items I can select, there's now EasyBook. I want to have the standard layout. And click on save. Go to home, and now I have a new entry, guestbook. Let's see what that gives us. It only shows us the entries, so I can't add one here. It only shows the ones that are added. So I'll click on new, EasyBook, and then guestbook entry form. And that's the case with components. You'll have to play with it to find out what it can do and how it does it. Okay, now I have my entry. I'll fill it in. Leave the rest alone. Website rating, well, I'll keep it moderate and put it on 3. Hope to see more tutorials. Oh. With a smiley, and I'll click submit entry. It does say it's not authorized. That's probably because as a guest I'm not allowed. Again, it's not about showing how this certain component works. It's about showing you how a component can be put in. And I've used extensions install uninstall, and that install uninstall works for components, it works for modules, it works for plugins, it works for languages and templates. And you know what? I'm fed up with this how to say guestbook thing, because it's showing me a not authorized thing. I have a problem with the configuration. I just don't like it. So how can I uninstall it? As we saw, we just click that same menu. We know it's a component, so I go to the tab Components. I see the EasyBook here, so I click the how to say the radio button, and I click on uninstall. Uninstall component success. I will go to my page here. Of course, I still have the guestbook. If I would click it, I get this page again. So I have to go to my main menu and remove those 2 buttons. So I trash them. So they are gone. My forum luckily was working, but you know what? It's too early for a forum, so well, I will start now with erasing the menu itself, trash it, and I will uninstall the component forum, components, Kunena. I use the radio button and click on uninstall. There we go. From components, again, there's a huge list which is possible to put in there. Um, the extension page will, how to say, will offer you everything that you need. There are non-commercial ones and commercial ones. What I would like to point out is that it's not necessarily the case that a component or module or plugin which you pay for is a better one than a non-commercial one. I've seen many examples that that is not the case. Um, in the extension, we have the uninstall install. As I mentioned, we can do the same for or use the same install mechanism for modules and plugins. Often, or I would say modules, next to the fact that a component is a working horse in Joomla, I would say modules are the side blocks, and well, basically the blocks you see, those are here. And plugins are um, additional workhorses. I would say a plugin is a bit of a tinier component. It can work by itself, and there's many different plugins. But to make a comparison, I would say a plugin is a mini component, and it will not show in your components, but it will show in your plugin manager. Um, when we go to the extensions.joomla.org, it's not to say like, okay, I now want to download a new plugin. It's like you're looking for something, say the Kunena forum, and sometimes a complete component comes with modules that would be an addition on your sidebar or top bar, and it also comes with plugins that give you additional features on the component it represents. So I would say uh, browse through the extensions.joomla.org pages, find what you want, and I'm pretty sure that whatever you want to do with your website, there is a component, a module, or how to say, a plugin available for the purpose you want it for. As I mentioned, and I will go through the list again, the extensions. We've seen the install, uninstall. Again, you can install components, modules, plugin, languages, and templates.